Ma nishtana halayla hazeh mikol halilot? How is this not going to be different than all of the rest of the nights of the year? It's a question that we ask every single year on the night of Pesach. But this year, that question will be very different. Why is this Pesach different than all of the previous Pesach holidays? This year, absolutely is going to be different. It's going to be different because many of us are not going to be sitting with our extended family and friends joining us at a Pesach Seder. For some, we won't be sitting with our children, with our grandchildren. And some of us might be sitting all alone. It will absolutely be a different Pesach experience. But nonetheless, we are told that we are to experience the exodus of Egypt, ki'ilu, as if we've left Egypt on the night of Pesach. Yes, that happened thousands of years ago. So how do we experience that? How do we feel what they felt when they left on the night of Pesach? See, on the night of Pesach, when they slaughtered the animal, they took the blood and put it on their doorposts. And we're told that the reason for that is because as God, as HaKadosh Baruch Hu, was going through Egypt, killing the firstborn Egyptian children, he spared the Jewish children, the Jewish firstborn. And he knew, well, if there is a blood around the doorpost, if there's a mezuzah around on your doorpost, then of course this must be a Jewish home, and I will skip over that house and go to the next house. But the Ramban questioned this theory. The Ramban says, of course God knows who is in the home. God knows the depths of our hearts and our soul. Putting blood on the doorpost is not going to be a sign for God that he has to skip that house. What if an Egyptian put blood on the doorpost? Is God going to skip that house? Of course not. He knows who's in the home. So then the blood around the doorpost must have a different meaning. It must be for a different experience. And Rav Kook explains that the blood around the doorpost is so the Jewish people could transform their home into a mizbeach. That experience that a person has when they bring a sacrifice in the Bet HaMikdash, the closeness, the feeling that they have of attaching themselves to God could be experienced even without the Bet HaMikdash. And that experience happens on the night of Pesach. When one transforms their table as a mizbeach, the way they did thousands of years ago when they put the blood around the doorpost and transformed their home into a place of kiddusha, we could do the same. We could take our table and transform it into a place of kiddusha, of holiness, and have God not pass over our homes, but have God enter our homes. As the Pasuk says in Sefer Melachim, when Eliyahu HaNavi was screaming and yelling at the Jewish people, Ad matai atem poschim al shnei asifim? How long could you be entering and stepping into the threshold, the area of the door where one enters the door? How long could you be entering the home of God in the Bet HaMikdash and then enter the place of Avodah Zarah? How long could you have that experience of worshiping God and then worshiping the idols? You need to stop entering both places. Al matai yatem poschim al shnei asifim. The word Pesach doesn't mean Passover. Pesach means to enter. When the Jewish people put the blood around the doorpost, God entered their home. He was there with them, and they felt that presence of God. And on the night of Pesach, even though tonight might be different than all of the previous Pesach holidays that we've experienced, tonight will be no different of trying to bring God into our home. Yes, Pesach means Hashem entered our home. But in order for God to enter our home, we must transform our home into a mizbeach. We must continue with the singing and the dancing. We must continue to recite Divrei Torah and to read the Divrei Torah and the Haggadot. Yes, it's going to be difficult. Yes, it's going to be different. But even if we are alone, we're not. We might be physically alone, but God will be there sitting with us, hearing our songs, hearing our pain and our suffering, but also our celebration. Because Pesach is a time that we could reconnect to Hashem. Let us take that opportunity of the Pesach table that will be in front of us very soon, transform it into a Mizbeach, open our door to allow God to come in, to feel His presence in our midst. And yes, tonight might be physically different than all of the rest of the years, but tonight will be no different spiritually, as God will be there holding our hands, dancing and singing with us, as we feel that experience and to feel that moment that our forefathers have felt thousands of years ago. Wishing you a Chag Bari Kasher V'Sameach.